I'm Paul Sanger for the Finance News Network, and today I'm talking with Santana Minerals CEO Damian Spring. Damian and his team are in town this week supporting the big IMARC conference and also supporting the Honourable Shane Jones, who's also on a visit over from New Zealand. So Damian, busy week this week.
It is a busy week. You know, these things sometimes are last minute, and certainly this is the case this week.
It's great to see Minister Jones in town again.
Yes, he's here with his officials from MB, Ministry of Innovation, Business and Employment, promoting New Zealand and our crown minerals that we've got over there, including gold.
Fantastic. Well, let's just kick things first up. A big congratulations on the Bendigo Gold project being designated as a fast-track project. Maybe you could share more about this and how the designation impacts your project timeline and what it means for the overall development of the Bendigo site.
Oh, look, being named on the fast track approvals bill draft is fantastic. You know, that means that as a named project, when we do submit our application, it's as long as it's full, it is immediately accepted and begins to be processed. So that's a great milestone. But ultimately, there's still a bit of work to go on the government side. You know, it is only the second reading now, which will be introduced to Parliament shortly, as we understand. But the form of the bill is very substantive and is definitely fast track.
Right time, right place.
Yes, it's just as I just said before, the timing is just uncanny.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And you're currently completing some environmental baseline studies in preparation of the project. How are they going?
Oh, look, yes, we're on track. We're always aiming to have them completed by the end of this year, regardless of the legislation. So. Look, they've been extensive. We've spent millions on these studies, covering ecology, aquatic ecology, dust, noise, lighting, environmental geochemistry, and look, it's a big effort, but we've still got a bit to go. We hope they're all completed in December, and then after which, we break, might have Christmas Day off.
There you go.
And we're into writing the actual application. And given it's a new piece of legislation covering 8 acts, 4 of which we need consents under, permissions, it will be a big task to bring all those technical reports into a format that can be easily digestible by the authorities.
Yeah, no, hear you loud and clear. And with the fast track approval bill focusing on projects of national significance, how does the Bendigo project contribute to both the regional and national economic growth in New Zealand?
At this stage, we're still running on the scoping study numbers. So that study said out of RAS, our Rise and Shine deposit, will produce 1.1 million ounces over 10 years. At that time, it was export earnings of $4.4 billion. And the real high-level numbers are incredible. You know, almost over $900 million in corporate tax and royalties going to central government. Over 250 jobs directly at the mine, with a factor up of about 3 FTEs for every job on site for the region. So 1,000 new jobs in the region. That will certainly drive a lot of economic activity over between Queenstown, Wanaka and Alexandra and other areas associated. So it's going to be a huge thing for the district.
And obviously, I think you're utilising your time also while you're here, I think meeting with investors, because let's talk about the gold price. You know, gold price is currently trading above New Zealand dollars $4,300 an ounce.
I think it's actually 4,600.
There you go. How does this influence the projected profitability and potential investor interest in the Bendigo project?
Oh, look, I think the appreciation of the gold price is just translate to straight profit. You know, we're a very, very high margin project based on the scoping study numbers. So it's gone up $700 since the scoping study was announced. So that's another $700 million in export earnings, and really goes to the bottom line.
I was laughing earlier. I looked at an early interview I did with you a few months ago. Your market cap then was 224 million, and now we're pushing nearly 450 million. So I certainly hope our viewers listened to that first interview and got a few shares on board. If they did, they've done very well.
I think they have. I hope they have. Certainly, the word is out now.
No, absolutely. And maybe you could walk us through some of the key milestones coming up, particularly the PFS, the pre-feasibility study, and plans to maybe engage with financiers.
Yeah, look, the pre-feasibility study is also in full swing alongside those environmental studies. We expect it out this quarter still. It'll be definitely an update on the scoping study numbers.
Yep.
And I'm sure the market will be very interested to understand it, as well as other stakeholders, including our local communities. We've got the fast track bill that actually needs to be passed. Yep. That'll be something else, a milestone coming up this side of Christmas. And in terms of investors, they're all looking for those milestones, and I think those are key. That just like being named was a big milestone for us, those are the next two, and of course ultimately the application being submitted in February. And
with that, with the anticipated fast track consent process, will it impact these steps?
No, they're all complementary. I think that's the timeline we set ourselves as we grew to understand what potentially the fast track bill could provide. Really, the whole timeline I established at the start of last year when I joined, as if there was no fast track, because there literally was none, even conceived at that point. So I think that it's all very complementary at this point in time. That's
fantastic. Let's talk a bit about the project, the Bendigo OFA project. It's seen multiple gold discoveries across, I think, a 5-kilometre strike. Do you foresee additional resource expansion or further discoveries as you continue to develop the project?
Yeah, absolutely. I often talk about how Macrae started in 1990 with 1.8 million ounces. They've produced over 5 million ounces, and they're only 90 kilometres along strike from us. Yeah, okay. So look, our summer program is starting to heat up. Planning is complete. We're mobilising extra drilling crews, and the exploration is ongoing. We'll continue to drill as we start producing.
Yeah, that's great. And look, given the promising projections and support under the Fast Track Approvals Bill, how is Santana approaching potential partnerships or financing to bring the project to production?
Well, equity markets are on fire at the moment for gold, so everybody wants to talk to us, which is great. But equally, it's always a potential mix of equity and debt, and those discussions are underway with debt financiers. When we pull the button on that's to be figured out. Right now, we're well funded. Yep. We have $30 million in the bank. We still have $30 million of the $8 bonus options issued in February that still have time to convert by February next year. Even at that stage when we put the application in for the fast track bill, we could still have 50 million in the bank.
And looking beyond Bendigo OFA, what's your long-term vision for Santana Minerals as a leading gold producer, and how does this project fit within that vision?
Look, the team we're starting to assemble around this project are predominantly Kiwis who either live there or start to drift back. I believe we'll try and maximise and leverage the opportunities within the tenements we have, and there's still plenty of upside, I believe, with discovery right there. But certainly, we aim to be a environmentally responsible, sustainable gold producer. Yep. And if opportunities pop up that we can take advantage of, we will.
Got you. And lastly, can you share how Santana is working with local communities and stakeholders to ensure the project benefits everyone involved, especially at the regional level?
Look, a key thing is introducing ourselves, which we've been doing that extensively over the last 3 to 4 months. We've actually literally having community drop-in sessions, so anybody can rock up and ask any question that they like, whether we're in a position to answer it. Will only come with the fullness of time, and we start finishing off these studies and putting it into our application. But really, everybody's trying to understand how big the project is, what the influence is, how it's going to affect their way of life or create those opportunities. And we're getting a lot of interest across a wide range of groups, those who are really quite keen to understand the environmental impacts and how we're going to mitigate those, through to business chambers looking for how their members can take advantage of this economic activity.
Damian, I really appreciate spending the time and the insights. Clearly, you've got a lot to get done before you get your turkey lunch on Christmas Day. We'll be watching incredibly closely, but best of luck with the next sort of 6 or 7 weeks. Interesting news to come, I anticipate.
Absolutely. Thank you very much, Paul.
Absolute pleasure.
Cheers, mate.